Well, the sight of the moon is a great occasion to link tradition and modernity, if I may say. So we have a cooperation with the scientists who provide us some guidelines, technical guidelines, on when, according to their calculations, the moon might be there and where and how is the cloud and how is the weather. And on the other side, we provide some good-sighted members of our community that are responsible to fulfill the traditional responsibility to look to the moon and to respond to the expectations of the community. So again, I think it's an occasion to link reason and science, religion, faith, and modernity, and trying to not put them in conflict or in competition, but to cooperate in order to have something that is Islam according to its eternity, but in principles, but also in practical terms in the Western and also Eastern civilization. During Ramadan, of course, in Europe and in Italy, we have a huge migration coming from North Africa. And so our organization, Rئيس, has made a program which we call 114 pizza and sweets during Ramadan. 114, of course, are the chapters of the Quran, and pizza and sweets is what we try to offer to Muslim migrants who are newcomers in Italy, in order to help them understand the possibility to live Islam with sensitivity, breaking their fast, but also be part of Western European, Italian communities. And so this also is an example of linking with Christian communities, because we invited also some Christian colleagues. So it's on two levels. It's a social welcoming and gathering according to the tradition of Islam of breaking fast, praying, and reciting the Quran with pizza, of course dates and pizza, but also with sweets, which helps the trouble of the migration process, but also helping the Christians in Italy understand also the symbolism, the universality of fasting, praying, and worshipping God Almighty in different ways through the respect of rituals, but also understanding the similarities and our common fraternity. Yes, I was younger, and I was very blessed, if I may say, because the atmosphere is completely different. And we can see and hear the presence of the Quran in the evenings, which is wonderful, but also the population gathering for meals, being happy, stores open with sweets, all over. I think you really feel the taste of the blessing of Ramadan in the evenings, but also in the days. Although in the days I see less crowd and less traffic than in other months of Ramadan. Well, being a European visiting Egypt and having the privilege to be quite often the guest of the Wizarat al-Awqaf and of the Mufti. Of course, I had the privilege to meet when I was younger and learn from Mufti Ali Gumwa. And I think you have to be proud of the value of knowledge of true, authentic Islamic tradition, living tradition. It's not only a heritage, it's not only in architecture, it's also in art, it's also in symbolism, but it's also in the really the great added value of spirituality and of meeting of cultures with the great value. Well, my message is let us increase relations between East and West so that Muslims in Europe and in Italy can follow the great example of your heritage and your wisdom and the presence of masters and saints in your country.